FPV freestyle is wild, and I wanna get into it. What better way to start this new hobby than to design a completely custom carbon fiber frame to be manufactured on my Carvera Air desktop CNC machine. I also have a few new ideas and concepts that I would like to implement in this build that, if I'm not mistaken, were never seen before on any other FPV drone out there, and should allow me to get a drone with the lowest inertia and the highest vibration damping possible, both of which should improve flight characteristics by making the drone more responsive to stick inputs. The two most relevant ideas I would like to implement in this drone are a very thin construction that should allow me to take the battery and bring it closer to the drone center of gravity, and a new kind of damping that could be easily added to any other FPV drone out there, which is called constrained layer damping, and I've never seen it being used before on FPV drones. This new damping method ended up working extremely well at removing unwanted vibrations that would disturb the flight controller signal, and is something that, as I said, you can easily implement on your drone as well just by simply using double-sided tape. But more on that later. First, let's clarify what I want to achieve with this build, aside from the things that I've already mentioned. Number one priority is durability. In fact, I will use 5mm thick carbon fiber arms on a 3.5 inches frame. The 5mm arms are usually found on much bigger 5 inches FPV drones, and I think they will basically never break. Still, if they do, they can be simply replaced without disassembling the whole frame. The arms will in fact be mounted to the frame via this bespoke mounting mechanism that allows the arm to wrap around the flight controller stack, enabling it to sit very low in the frame. This is not relevant in of itself, but is what allows the heavy battery to sit much lower and closer to the center of gravity, reducing the drone inertia, which means that the drone can essentially accelerate faster along the roll or pitch axis, giving the same amount of thrust provided by the motors, making it ultimately more responsive. One side effect that this arm mounting system has is also increasing the contact area between the arms and the lower mid-frame plates, increasing the friction damping of the frame, ultimately lowering the frame resonance and improving once again flying characteristics. Frame resonance and vibrations are an extremely complex topic that plays a huge role in distinguishing a bad frame from a very good frame. If you want to learn more about that, I will leave a linked video down in the description below, which explains it extremely well and clearly. Still, this is not the only or even the most effective measure that I've taken to combat frame vibration. In fact, I will add the previously mentioned constrained layer damping to lower the resonance even more. The rest of the frame is pretty normal, with a top plate raised by standoffs, a machined 7075 aluminum camera cage to provide very good camera protection, and a side antenna mount to keep the antenna safe from direct hits in crashes. With the design sorted, we can move on manufacturing the frame. I've machined everything on my Carvera Air desktop CNC machine, which was able to produce amazing results, both in carbon fiber and aluminum. First, I machined the top, mid and bottom plates out of a 2mm carbon sheet, using a corn bit and fixing the carbon sheet to the manufacturing plate by simply using double-sided tape. The G-code was generated in Fusion 360 to provide for maximum flexibility and control over the various settings, with truly professional results. Moving on with machining the arms, the process is exactly the same, this time involving double-sided machining, to allow for a nice chamfer to be added to both sides of the arms, improving looks but also decreasing the chance of the carbon layers delaminating in a crash due to the absence of sharp edges. If you happen to machine carbon fiber yourself, make sure you have the proper dust extraction system, since the fibers generated when machining are extremely harmful if inhaled. Fortunately, Makera provided me with their Cyclone dust extractor, which is designed specifically for their machines, and with the dedicated dust shoe, it was able to capture every single fiber, keeping the work area extremely clean and, most importantly, making the machining of these dangerous materials super safe and worry-free. With all the carbon components finished and nicely machined, I moved on fabricating the two T-nuts that will clamp the arms in place. These are made out of a sheet of 7075 aerospace grade aluminum, which is the same materials the camera cage will be made out of. Machining the camera cage wasn't easy since I had to machine both sides, but all the operation ended up lining up perfectly, mainly thanks to all the premium features present in the Carvera Air CNC machine, that allows you to pull out truly professional results easily from home. Before assembling the drone, a couple of threaded holes need to be added here and here to allow the camera cage to be screwed on the frame. This step is actually quite tricky because alignment is critical. If the bit isn't perfectly perpendicular to the surface, the thread won't sit properly and the camera mount will end up slightly misaligned. Also, when working with metal parts like this, maintaining a steady pressure and accurate depth control is essential to avoid ruining the piece. And fortunately, Spacing reached out to sponsor this video with the perfect tool for this job. The Spacing Tool 3 is a 3-in-1 cordless drill with never seen before features that place it somewhere in between a precision drill press and a standard cordless drill. It has 3 functions: drill, screw and tap, each with different trigger feedbacks and adjustable power that can be set using the super satisfying dial in the back. There is also an LCD screen displaying all the settings very clearly, but the most unique and useful feature has to be this. By simply adding this spacer up front, the drill can be used almost like a precision drill press, keeping the bit perfectly perpendicular to the surface that you're drilling, while also displaying the exact drilling depth with 0.1 mm accuracy. These smart functions allowed me to easily drill the extremely precise holes in the exact locations I needed, with a level of control that's very difficult to achieve with a standard handheld drill. The tapping function is perfect for threading these holes, since it allows the drill to spin extremely slowly, while maintaining the high torque needed for threading metal. You can find more info about it in the link below. Back to the drone build, all the needed components are now finished and we can finally start assembling it. This will not be a tutorial on how to build an FPV drone, so I'll just briefly walk you through the build process. I started with assembling the arms to the bottom plate, securing them with the T-nuts we previously machined. The mid plate can then be slotted on top, and the 4 10mm standoffs can be added to clamp the 3 bottom layers together, after which the ESC can be mounted in place. The flight controller needs to wait for a bit, since we first need to install and solder the motors, which are T-Hobby Pacer 1604 3800 kV ones, which will be perfect for this 4S build. After soldering the motors, the capacitor and power leads can be soldered in place, making sure that every connection is kept well away from the carbon frame, to avoid any short circuits. Next, the flight controller can be slotted on top of the ESC and secured with the included nuts, before moving on installing the DJI O4 Air unit in the back, and connecting it to the flight controller using the proper harness. After adding the antenna holder and the power cable retaining clip over the respective standoffs, the top plate can be added with the camera cage already screwed on, fixing it in place with 7 short M3 bolts before installing the camera using a couple of 3D printed TPU brackets to allow for some slight vibration damping, helping with keeping the camera feed as stable as possible. At this point, I would like to quickly mention that if you want to build a similar project involving custom CNC machining of various materials, 3D printing or any other manufacturing method, but you don't have the tools to make these parts yourself, you can just head over to PCBWay and order all the custom parts you need, with just a couple of clicks. The quality is amazing and I will deliver your components extremely fast and at a super low price. I've been using their services for a while now, and I honestly couldn't be happier with them. I will leave a link below so you can check them out. Moving on, we need to find a way to firmly hold the battery in place, so I've just added a strip of the same grip tape that is usually used on tennis rackets, which ended up working wonders, holding the battery even upside down. Finally, the battery strap can be added, and as you can see, I've secured it in such a way that it doesn't slot below the top plate, to allow for the lowest thickness possible. Before calling this build finished, we need to add the well-anticipated constrained layer damping system, which seems like a very complex thing, but actually consists of just a bunch of thin carbon fiber sheets sticked to the drone arms with double-sided tape. This ridiculously simple solution allowed the frame resonance to go from this to this. Listen again. The difference in resonance is massive, with the frame initially ringing like a bell and being very damped after adding the extra carbon layer. You can actually achieve this same result by not using fancy carbon like I did. In fact, to achieve this very effective damping, you just need to put a very viscous and sticky layer in between two rigid layers. One of which will be the frame arms in this case, and the other can be any rigid material you have available. The two rigid layers will flex hundreds of times per second due to the vibrations, and they will tend to slide relative to one another. Under this movement, the viscous layer will move and stretch, absorbing some of the vibration energy and turning it into heat, ultimately reducing the overall vibrations. As I showed, the results are clearly noticeable, and I highly encourage you to test this out yourself, and please let me know what results you can get. Mounting the props, the build is finished, and I honestly couldn't be happier with it. It looks super nice with all the machined parts that make it feel super sturdy and solid. Everything is fitted together very tightly, but still maintaining all the solder joints and boards safe from any short circuits. This compactness makes it look like a premium finished product and not something that one can build at home. But these are obviously just my thoughts, and I would be happy to hear yours down in the comments. One thing I was extremely surprised to see was its weight. In fact, weight has never been one of my main objectives with this build, but despite the aluminum camera cage, the 5mm thick arms and the relatively big 750 mAh battery, it came in at just below 250 grams, which was truly a surprise and something that I was not expecting at all. That is certainly impressive, but it's all useless if it flies bad.
In the stillness somewhere above, the city lights, you're falling in love. Still aware, you know it is true, that you were lost and this is a clue. Love is forever, love is forever. To believe you gotta let go. Light as a feather, light as a feather. Lucid dreaming over Tokyo. Love is forever, love is forever. Gotta let go. Love is forever, love is forever. Gotta let go. With the music still in your ears, you're on your way to conquer your fears. In this dream of your own desire, there is someone calling your name. Love is forever.
I know my piloting isn't the best, but I hope you liked this quick edit that I put together. The drone blew me away from the first flight, with flying characteristics extremely similar to the drone that I was used to flying in the simulator. All the measures I've taken to optimize this frame definitely worked, since I've experienced literally zero prop wash even in the most extreme of maneuvers. And the constrained layer damping that I added to the arms definitely helped cleaning up the IMU signals. And that is also clearly visible in this graph, where the big spike in the beginning are the movements related to my stick inputs, while the rest of the graph remains quite flat, without any big spikes, indicating amazing frame damping and a clean flight controller signal. Another indication of a stable flight is the camera footage. In fact, the video feed was free of any jello, even though the camera used is notorious for being very sensitive to vibrations. With that said, I highly suggest you try constrained layer damping on your quad as well, since I think it's one of the most effective ways to dampen your frame, and I've never seen it being used before. Maybe I'm wrong about that, and there are some big drawbacks that I haven't noticed, and there is a reason if no one has ever used it in FPV. If that's the case, please let me know. Anyway, I hope you liked this little build. That's it for this video, I will catch you in the next one.